An emotional day in Los Angeles as they are welcoming the firefighters to help fight the wildfires over California and Los Angeles. The Kings wanting to win this one for everyone in the city and everyone in the wildfires that they have unfortunately lost to. The defending Stanley Cup champions coming off a home-and-home sweep of the Anaheim Ducks, traveling to face the Kings in a second of four-game road trip at the Golden and Silver States. Puck drop tonight here. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava. The first of two meetings between these two teams, both games coming in a 1 week span. The Panthers trying to climb to first in the Atlantic Division after a Toronto Maple Leafs whole winning streak. But it'll be challenging if they don't consistently put more wins together. If there's a helping hand for them, they're 5-1-0 on the second half of back-to-backs this season, and they're in good position should they want to win this one given they're coming up a 5-2 win at Anaheim yesterday. 11 different Panthers recorded at least 1 point, outscoring the Ducks 8-2 in their two-game sweep over them. Aaron Ekblad is not playing tonight, but he's expected to return at some point to trip. But it's been a good month for the Kings to begin, but they're currently on a losing skid, dropping contests to the Edmonton Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights, who occupy the top two spots in the Pacific Division. The Kings won a 6-game winning streak against the Panthers until Florida snapped it with a 3-2 overtime win last season in the losing stretch. LA has scored one or fewer goals. So in the losing stretch, LA scored one or fewer goals in 3 games. And they're going to look a little different. Jim Hiller has reshuffled the lines following a lackluster effort in their 5-1 loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Want to see how the lineups look like? We'll begin with the visiting Florida Panthers. For the forecourt begins with Matthew Tkachuk, Alexander Barkov, and Sam Reinhart. Angelo Storinen, Sam Bennett, Mackie Samoskevich, Carter Verhaeghe, Anton Lundell, Jesper Boquist, Evan Rodriguez, Tomas Nosek, and AJ Greer. On defense, Gustav Forsling with Dmitry Kulikov, Nico Mikkola with Nate Schmidt, Tobias Bjornfot with Uvis Bolinskis. And Spencer Knight is the starting goaltender. Sergei Bobrovsky backs him up, as yesterday they were in the first of a back-to-back. For the Kings, their starting lineups are like this. For the forwards, Alex Turcotte, Anze Kopitar, Adrian Kempe, Warren Foegele, Quinton Byfield, Trevor Moore, Akil Thomas, Philip Deneau, Kevin Fiala, Tanner Jeannot, Sam Hellenius, and Trevor Lewis. On defense, Mikey Anderson of Vladislav Gavrikov, Joe Edmondson of Brant Clark, Jacob Moverar with Jordan Spence. Darcy Kemper is the starter. David Riddick will back him up. Drew Doughty has been practicing with his teammates after sustaining an ankle injury at the preseason. He has not played a regular season game this year. If you look at breakout players for the Kings, you'll notice Alex Laferriere, 13 goals, 13 assists for 26 points. However, he is not on the active roster right now. He is out with an upper body injury. He sustained on January the 15th. Brant Clark, their number one defenseman this year, as he stepped up 3 goals, 20 assists for 23 points. Spence has upped this game quite a bit as of late. 11 points his last 20 games, as we have a ceremonial opening face-off between Anze Kopitar and Alexander Barkov. Two stalwarts of two-way players throughout their careers. Kopitar, a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Barkov winning the Stanley Cup last season for his Florida Panthers, who left 3 games to 0 in the Stanley Cup final against the Edmonton Oilers. Held off the Oilers in Game 7 after they were outscored by a combined total of 18-5 in Games 4 through 6. The Panthers won Game 7 2-1 on a huge performance from Sergei Bobrovsky. McDavid was held off the point sheet in the final 2 games. In Game 7, he was doing everything possible to try to tie the game up. 94% expected goals for rating. So visit lakings.com/fire relief to donate, bid on auction items, and purchase LA Strong merchandise to help out the Los Angeles community and help those in relief who need relief. Spencer Knight, the starter for the Panthers. Darcy Kuemper for the Kings as we're underway here in Los Angeles. Let's get rocking and rolling, everyone. So there are a lot of seats that have to be filled in here in Los Angeles, and to get the first good chance, that one was poked away. The Panthers go back the other side. Mackie Savage came for the left side, and that was a good glove stop by Kuemper. Might have went wide, though. Losterinen sweeps his side all the way back as this pass is at the far side. The boards bounced inside for Kuemper, who sticks it away. Kings trying to recollect, but Bennett was there right on Edmonton. Edmonton clears it out, though, for Kopitar. Kopitar at the Kings bench. Edmonton plots it backwards for Kourt and then back for Edmonton. Former St. Louis Blue who won a Stanley Cup with them. Back deep is Spence. Up for Edmonton. Puck is over at the middle. Have the Los Angeles Fire Department decoration over at center ice to honor the LA Fire Department who has fought these wildfires so valiantly. Clark is with Moverar. Spence with Edmonton as the Panthers, they get a good chance. Right around is Reinhart. It's wide the net as Moore is trying to clear this one out, and he does with some help. Forsling bats this one back in, and Kuemper will let Anderson pick it up. A minute 30 into this game as this goes for Danault, who's on the 2021 Montreal Canadiens. They made it to the Stanley Cup final. Set up from Thomas that was broken up. Panthers back the other way. A little poke as Boquist. A little too hot to handle. His brother Adam a healthy scratch. Kings get it back as they send this one in. Knight plays it out at the near side of the ice. And it bounced off the boards and out of play. Darcy Kuemper, Stanley Cup champion with the Colorado Avalanche, is 4-2-0 in the month of January. 118 GAA and 956 save percentage with 1 shutout. He's been very good this month. He's a guy that they want to have back and fully healthy onto the ice. Panthers are missing Aaron Ekblad, but Tobias Bjornfot is filling his place nicely upon getting called up from the Charlotte Checkers of the AHL. Here he is with the puck at the far corner. Takes a banging hit at that far side. Still up, and Bolinskis will move it up. Flipped it upwards for Kuemper as Kuemper. Oh, there was a slide there from Moverar as he went leg first towards the wall. It's cleared out though. Bolinskis picks it up. The far side off the wall. Kings trying to move this forward, and they do, as it was Genge who tapped it forward. Knight gets this backwards to Bolinskis. At the far side, Samoskevich all the way across. Florida sends it in. Around through the near side of the boards. At the far corner, picked up by the Kings. And opposite side for Edmonton. Setting it up that way for Adrian Kempe, who takes it across. Kempe fires! And that one might have got a piece off of Knight. Not out, as this was a failed clear by the Panthers, lightly tapped as Turcotte kept it in onto the point at the far corner. Turcotte spun around, grabs it up, and then backhands it over to Kopitar. On the one-timer, set down low, wide the net, as the intent was to set up a tap pass right in front. Bennett up with it at the far side, Losterinen stopped, and Bennett will hold it. It's forced out by who I believe is Adrian Kempe. Bennett sends it backwards all the way for Reinhart. The two Sams on the ice as Bennett goes to the bench. A little Sam and Sam show action. Or call it Sam's Club for what it's worth. Anderson around from near to far as it's picked up by Gavrikov playing on his offside. That for by Kulikov, but turns it back over to the Kings. Carried up from his Byfield, second overall pick. And the drive in which Lafreniere was picked first overall as this one sent over around and now his own. Gavrikov will move it up. And at the near side, Anderson for the near wing. Boquist tried to get it out. Moore picks it up, trying to scoop it up and do some fancy stick work with it. At the far side, the net could not be tapped forward as Boquist wants to clear. Knight plays it around for Kulikov. 6 left shot defensemen on the ice for the Panthers that they're fielding on this active roster. That was dangerous for Moverar's. Lundell was right on his face. Moverar over to Danault. Tries to get it backward to Moverar, but the Panthers are right up on him. Florida wants to get it forward. Nobody there to pick that one up. Fiala up for Danault. Back for Fiala at that left point. And offside is signaled. So we meet our officials. Frederick Lecuyer and Brandon Schrader, 17 and 34. Travis Garlitz and Caleb Apperson, 67 and 77. Are referees and linesmen, respectively. With Bjornfot on the ice, it's a small sample size in 7 games, but they have led 117 to 58 in shot attempts, 60 to 32 in shots on goal, 61-21 scoring chances, 6 free in goals over the nearly 90 minutes. Bjornfot has played 5-on-5. At the far side, the Kings want to get this up. Right around the ice, the Panthers want to take it up. It's Nosek all the way across. Kings pick it up for a split second. The Panthers get it back. AJ Greer in. Had it poked away from him by Clark. Clark wants to get it out and does. Carried forward by Bjornfot as it was sent in by Sam Miskevich. Kemper leaves it behind off his skate for Moverar. Hellenius. Forward backcourt hand for Trevor Lewis as this bounced around several times. Far corner. Nate Schmidt there. At the puck out of his zone as Tanner Jeannot was trying to slam right onto his face. This was a bounce off the stick of one of the Panthers as Florida wants to get this up. Sam Miskevich stopped at the blue line as the Panthers were onside. Kemper placed it out for Edmonton. Edmonton to the far boards as this is cleared out. Nate Schmidt pokes it away. It goes out of play onto the bench. A little confrontation between Sam Bennett, Nico Mikkola, and Tanner Jeannot. Paul Maurice, 15-8-1 on the road to 646 points percentage. On the road are 4th best in the entire NHL. In the midst of a season that is looking to be like a late Stanley Cup hangover, Florida allows some chasing teams to get back into the group by losing 5 of their first 8 games of this month. But they still have enough ground to weather the storm. They need to get wins on a consistent basis to regain that cushion. Could be a game where Barkov could shine. He has 18 points in 16 career games against the Kings. Sent in deep, and that is Barkov who is back deep. Forswing there as well. Kings pick it up at the far side of the ice. Spinning around is the local boy Trevor Moore. To the point, sent across from Gavrikov to Anderson. Slaps one through, it's wide. Rushing inside is Moore. Who's in front, and a big save there. Quinton Byfield turned away point blank. Out front the net. And Byfield was left on an island all by himself as this went up and over. And there were some goals out of Kulikov that he usually does not allow, but Byfield, what a good shot attempt up front, right, the pad area. The whistle was blown though, so that last shot attempt will not count. Kopitar to take the face off against Lundell. It's won by the Kings. It was outside the offensive zone as this was sent inside by LA. Kulikov first to it, but it's held inside smartly by Clark. Back deep, it's Kulikov trying to grab it away as this comes back to the point. Adrian Kempe holds onto it, makes Kulikov miss. Kempe inside, fires! And that was knocked away, blocked out of play. When off a stick, off a shaft, 13:49 left in this first period. It is scoreless still between the Panthers and Kings, with Kempe having the last good chance. Back in a moment. straight games. The Kings are looking to avoid that because in turn, they would lose 3 straight games if the Panthers win 3 straight. Ekblad missed the last 6 games with an upper body injury, but is expected to rejoin the team on their current road trip. Drew Doughty has yet to play a game this season as he broke his ankle in the preseason. He skated for the first time this season at practice on Monday, so there's some optimism for Jim Hiller's squad on the way back on this long recovery for Doughty. No shots for the Panthers, just 2 for the Kings, as the last one Kempe was blocked and settled out of play. Panthers have it, still looking for the first shot on goal. Byfield sends it out. And this is still loose. Reinhart slaps it around. Danault closes off Tkachuk. Tkachuk under heavy duress. 2 Kings right there at the far corner. Alexander Barkov wants to break free. Sam Reinhart looks to set up in front. Good job by the Kings to break that pass up. Mikey Anderson there, and he will be on the puck retrieval opposite Kulikov. At the far corner, it's a pounding and hounding over there. Trevor Moore on this pass. Bouncing around several times, the Panthers get it out. It's gloved down by Gavrikov. Anderson takes it back in. At the near side is Kopitar, who backhands it around back to the point, all the way around the cycle. Past Schmidt and onto Lostorinen, who wants to get it out. Lostorinen wants to feed to someone, can't. Kopitar gets it back in. Drop pass over to Kempe, and once again to Edmonton, a long shot, bounced up into the air and onto the far corner. Now recollected, but the Kings finally have it back off the post! Joe Edmondson set up a one-timer, stopped by a Knight off the right pad. Now up for Sam Miskevich, it goes for a twisted Toro. At the far side, Edmondson recollects it for the Kings as they set it up. One-on-one opportunity for Adrian Kempe as he is forced up in the route as he looks for help. All the way back for his own defensive zone as Bovarar plays it to Clark. Danault with Fiala getting shoved by Belinsky's twice. Bovarar gets the return feed from Clark. Bovarar sends it up for the near side for Fiala. Bounced around several times, the Panthers have it. Verhaeghe got the first goal of Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Final. Bounced up several times, Belinsky's is back deep. Far side on the cross-ice pass. Now another drop pass. Holding on to this one is Belinsky's as the Panthers swap lines. Now moves out in front. Enters the neutral zone as he sends it over. Bouncing puck over to the Kings zone back deep. One Panther fell down. And picking it up, who I believe is Danault. Clark had to pick up his stick. Backhanded deep, but this took a bounce. And this is still loose at the bench side. Verhaeghe moves in. Verhaeghe fires it. That's the first shot on goal for the Panthers, which is stopped by Kemper. The Paul Maurice shuffled the lines a couple weeks ago to create a new top unit with Tkachuk joining Barkov and Reinhart. The trio skate together, getting a good amount of zone time and scoring chances, which are increasing. We got nice passing plays that can lead to goals. Scoring has been balanced out. Spencer Knight will have to continue to be lights out. This month, he is 3-0-0 with a .969 save percentage and a .85 GAA. Rodriguez and Helenius on the faceoff. Won by the Panthers. Bounced up from Greer. Kings take control. This goes deep for Spencer Knight, who's in the trapezoid. Bounce it over to Bjornfot. Bjornfot braces for contact before he got the pass away. Up front, or Nosek. Sent in by the Panthers. Kings get in the way. Edmondson there. He gets it out. Well, this is going to be puck out of play. It's going to be an interesting topic. Was it deflected? Or was it just cleared out like that? But the physical battle shows its wear and tear as Tanner Jeannot took the brunt of contact from AJ Greer once handling the puck. These two are very physical players that can go tit for tat. Well, for number 10, as Greer had the early physical edge on Jeannot. Took all of that hit. This will not be the way of game. AJ Greer has a team-leading 125 hits this season. Off the face-off, this is Nate Schmidt from back deep. And that was stopped by Kemper. At the far corner, Kings pick it up as Fogle. Warren Fogle sends it back for Anderson up the far side. On the give and go, the Kings could not enter. Sticked away by Reinhart as Florida wants to get something in deep. They have just one shot on goal, that's the Verhaeghe shot. Just 4 combined shots between these two defense-first teams. As Tkachuk bounces this for Schmidt. Schmidt looks Opposite side for Mikkola. Mikkola tries to deliver one and was blocked in front. Panthers trying to once again create. They give it away. Byfield sends it up. And this is a delayed penalty here by Nate Schmidt. And the game's first power play will go to the Kings as Barkov wants a word with the officials. As Schmidt high stick Byfield up high. Looks like he got caught up at the side of the left cheek. It seems that Barkov was wanting a word with the officials about that. Some more power play goals could be important because the Kings have not been quicking on the power play as of late. 23.9 is the Panthers' power play percentage. They have killed off 78.4% of penalties. The Kings have converted 16.5% of their power plays. Not a good power play team, but Adrian Kempe is their most important man on the power play. He scored 4 power play goals this season. Top unit consists of Fiala, Kopitar, Kempe, Byfield, and Spence. Spence was inserted into the top power play unit and has paid dividends. Spence takes control of this puck. He drops this one back and does. For the approaching Quinton Byfield, drops it again for Kopitar. Kopitar rips it wide. Collected by Kempe, who keeps it alive. Kulikov, as this was too far for the intended target. At the far side, is held in by the Kings. Fiala sends it backwards for Spence. At the right side is Kempe. He'll drop it over to Kopitar. And now back. Kempe. One-timer at the left side. Rebound in front. Both times it was swept away. Panthers take control shorthanded. And they will send this down the ice. Kempe will let it go for Spence. Jordan Spence, native of Sydney, Australia, playing for the Canadian national team in most occasions. Byfield for Kempe at the right circle. Shoots and that's stopped by Knight. With 1:03 to go on the power play, it is their first one, but LA is buzzing. Looks like they want to move the puck some more. This puck movement has not been a lot, but it's been showing 2 saves from Spencer Knight. He got the initial one off his glove, the rebound on his pad. Good job by Knight to turn away those chances. Face-off won by the Kings on the man advantage as they continue. Fiala wants to go back. Is shoved once, twice. Turcotte keeps it in but turns it over. Not out as it was a good keep by Los Angeles. Florida tangles up the Kings and that will be forced out. Fiala keeps a hold of it. Fiala's being double shifted here on this power play. Nate Schmidt in the way of Trevor Moore. Topic of double shifting players on power plays has been a reoccurring theme here as Fiala wants to set up around the boards. Schmidt blocks it off. Going back for the point for Clark. At the right circle, the Kings hold it. Back for Clark at the point. 25 with a man advantage. Pass went awry. Kings keep it in though. Tap pass in front. Here's Fiala wanting a reverse wraparound, but the Panthers close it off. Penalty time is going down to 10 seconds. This is a bad pass and it should all essence and the power play for the Kings. 5 seconds as the last gasp of air. Moore. Kulikov wants to clear. Power play over. Knight's out of his crease. Center pass in front. Went off a Panther. That was Tkachuk. At the far corner. Gustav Forsling sticks that one away. Forsling through the far side as it is moved up by Florida. Up for the middle. There was a takedown onto the ice. I don't know if there's a hand up in the air. Now a penalty arm is up. This is going to be a penalty against the Panthers. Byfield swooshes in. And that was a stick check by Kulikov with 7:45 to go. No penalty on the entry from the Panthers. In which the Kings may have seemed to have gone away with something. However, Matthew Tkachuk clearly tripped Quinton Byfield, in which Byfield got swept away off his skates. No poke check towards the puck. Kings back to the power play when we return. point the first period, 7:45 to go. That's Paul Maurice with 897 career wins, 4th most all-time among NHL head coaches, winning his first Stanley Cup in his 26th season as a head coach in the NHL. He previously resigned from his post as the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets before coming to the Florida Panthers and successfully turned around the culture of this Panthers team, and it paid off with a Stanley Cup. Off the faceoff, it is Spence. One-timer across is turned away by Knight. That was Adrian Kempe who had the shot. He keeps it in. Around for Fiala. Anton Lundell in the way trying to clear. Both Fiala and Lundell go down. Byfield there. Several stick checks in the way. Kulikov right there as well. Lundell, Byfield, at the near corner. Florida wanting to get it out. Los Angeles trying to tangle up the Panthers with those sticks, and the Panthers have the advantage. Kemper will handle this. The Kings have the 5th worst power play in the NHL. The Panthers have the 17th ranked penalty kill in the NHL. 2 shots on their first power play as Nosek ties up Fiala. Nosek wants to keep it out, but it's kept in off the backhand from Spence. Byfield also tangled up. Fiala there. Nate Schmidt wants to get it out. A gangbang at the near corner, at the near half boards. Panthers get it out. This goes opposite side of the ice. Off Jesper Boquist. This is a drop pass. Kings wanting to take this one back. Spence wants to get on the drop pass as a unit changes out. Philip Deneau misheld that one badly as that allows Sam Reinhart to clear it all the way down. Clark, the power play quarterback on the second unit, sends it up for Deneau. On the right side, this is Fiala. Fiala wants to move this one around and does. Trevor Moore there. He is silenced. 2 Kings on there to try to hold this one through. Kulikov wants to get this one around. Philip Deneau wants to keep it but can't. This could be a 2-on-1 if Reinhart hurries. Pass across. Perfect. Stick check in the way. Kept in for a split second, but the Kings have some numbers. 4-on-2. Turcotte with the shot right off. And that was stopped by Knight. 5 seconds on the man advantage. Barkov will control it. And now to run out the second power play. Barkov is in. At the near corners, Tkachuk is out. Sticked away by Clark. 5:39 to go in the first period. Scoreless here. Shots being 7-1 Kings. Panthers bring it back up as Verhaeghe loses the puck. And this one was sticked aside on the cross-ice pass. Lundell holds it for a moment. Kings get it out. Across the red line. Fogle turns it over as he was trying to wait for some help. He had no help across him. Mikkola is back deep. 5:15 to go in the first. Moved it up. And now up is Luostarinen. Luostarinen sends it to the near corner. Anderson pinned. That allows the Kings to move it back up. Panthers hounding the Kings all sorts. Bolinski's was right there. Down goes one of the Panthers. They take it back up as it's Barkov getting shot. That bounced off the left pad of Kemper. Think of a little pinball there on the motion. Anderson gets it out, and it went off one of the Panthers in doing so, so it's only stuck in the neutral zone. Byfield couldn't pick it up. The Panthers could, and they're back at the attacking zone as Bennett goes rink wide out to the left point. Drop pass from Bjornfot to Bolinski's deep shot went wide. At the near corner is picked up by Sam Miskevich. He sends it around right off a body. That was Bennett. Take it back up as Jeannot. Tanner Jeannot across. Jeannot sends it up and is stopped by Knight. Is shut down, and we have a skirmish with Bennett shoving Jeannot. That's the 8th shot of the game for the Kings. Panthers have just 2 with 4:23 left in the first period. A commotion here, which prompted the linesman to break it up. Alexander Barkov was looking for Sam Reinhart all the way across short-handed, but that was broken up. Philip Deneau, in turn, had his shot get blocked and up over the net. We'll be back. Angeles, California. Beautiful skyline in a city that has linked to a lot of movies. The Hollywood industry running strong here in Los Angeles. 4:23 to go here in this first period. The Kings trying to write their own Hollywood story here tonight. It's scoreless here, but so far the advantage has been with the Kings. Why is it a bit different? And it looks like they have been rejuvenated all across. They had some good chances though. Off this face-off, this goes to the back of the net. Was controlled by Genge. Genge looking for the center pass in front, and there was nothing open at the slot. Kings want to send it back. The Panthers will pick it up as it is Knight controlling this, sending it behind. And moving out in front now is Florida. At the far side, Nate Schmidt controls. It's all left shot defenseman for the Panthers. Is the only active right shot defenseman on the roster is a healthy scratch. That's Adam Boquist. Battle at the far half boards. Pride free, and the Kings are in control once again. Moving up front as a drop pass. Oh, a dangerous one as it could have been a turnover. Adrian Kempe control. Moved it over at the middle for Kopitar. Controls it right back. We're at the far side. Kings have it. Edmonton. Joe Edmonton moves to the cross as we have line changes throughout. Leading the way is Trevor Moore on this pass for Mikkola. Panthers pick it up. Reinhart takes it across. And now sends it around from near to far. Bounced out. This is offside. The puck just exited the zone. Good eye by the official to catch that. Gustav Forsling kind of in disagreements. Now the Kings have scored 2 or fewer goals in 6 of their last 7 games. 1 goal or less in 3. It's not a huge sample size, but it's not like the Kings aren't aware of what's happening. They aren't scoring the way they like to. And while there aren't concerns yet, they have been focusing on it. They practiced yesterday on tracking back defensively first, so the majority of teams forward stayed after the former skate to work on finishing. In control is Barkov as he sends it backwards. 3:05 to go here. Penalty is against the Kings. The Panthers will be on their first power play tonight. For the far side, it's now touched up by LA, so Florida will go to the man advantage. Penalty killing has been something that's not of their concern. They have killed off 82.6% of their penalties. It looks to be tripping against Warren Foegele as he'll sit down for 2 minutes. Got to stick in the way of Alexander Barkov, and that's what prompted that. 6th best penalty kill in the league are the Kings, which is tied in that aspect. Panthers have the 7th best power play. Face-off is won by Florida. Schmidt over to the left side. This gets set up in front, around through the net. Right back for Schmidt as he waits. Then backs up. At the right side, Tkachuk back for Schmidt. Schmidt fires from deep. Rebound chance in front. Matt scrambled the net, and Kemper holds onto it. A fiasco at the net, and Kemper might have hung on to that one. We'll have to see if this was at a glance of getting at the red line. There was an outnumbered situation, and there was a whistle right in front of the net. Was the puck? The puck may have been covered and was forced out of Darcy Kemper and right into the net, but the whistle was blown before the puck went into the net. 15 seconds into the power play. Kemper since December 7th, 169 GAA, 946 save percentage, SWAT save percentage of 890. And the goaltending has been very well for him as of late. Finding that groove that made him one of the best goaltenders as this puck gets cleared out all the way to the Panther end. Schmidt will restart. Barkov as a deep dropper. Sam Reinhart with him. 3 Panthers move inside. Reinhart sends it around through the ice. Then back around. This is Tkachuk with this. Spinning and turning. A long shot. Kemper saw it all the way. 1:20 to go on the man advantage. But that was a surprise shot from Tkachuk. Had no problem shooting it on a turnaround. A quick little play on that 2-on-1 right around. Tkachuk was looking for a slight deflection off the stick from Gavrikov, who was not ready for that shot. Both starting to face up as Reinhart is forced out. Barkov will fill in his place. This one's won by Danault. Joe Edmondson wants to clear, but it's held in by Schmidt. Backhand pass, gets around, and Edmondson was in the way. This time he manages to clear. Settled down by Florida. They'll send it across. Schmidt aside. And Florida will move this forward 3-on-3. Alexander Barkov closed off. Just kept it in as Lostarina is back there. Right across for Schmidt. Bounce pass right off of Byfield and right onto a King who clears. Spencer Knight places, and he'll skate it casually for one of the Panthers. That is Uvis Bolinski's. He'll drop it for Evan Rodriguez. Rodriguez towards his left. Sam Bennett slices this one across. Bennett back deep. Edmondson sliding clear at the near side of the ice. And right back for Knight. With 25 on the man advantage. Bolinski's. Casually skates it as he drops it backwards. Moving up front, there are two guys on for the entry. Left side from Bennett. And a good close-off there by the Kings. Excellent penalty killing. Less than 10 seconds on the man advantage. And that's we're in the final minute of the first period. Far side is taken up by Florida as they go across. Poked away several times as this goes for a forward swing. Long shot was sent wide the net. That was the best chance that the Panthers had in the period. To the Kings, they're back with us as the puck goes to Anze Kopitar. Scoops it up, and that was stopped by Knight. Off his right pad. Gustav Forswing shoved away once, now twice from Kempe. As we have another whistle. There could be something in the way here as this was sent to the benches. Along through the boards. Good play there. All penalty so far. Says Fogle, who tripped up Reinhart, not Barkov. So Kemper gets a piece of the puck on that last Panthers shot. Four Nations face-off begins on February 12th, 3 days after Super Bowl 59. At the left circle, this is a face-off win by the Kings. Anderson holds onto it over the near half boards. Adrian Kempe moves around. 25 seconds left as Kopitar, or actually Kulikov, was in the way at the pass attempt for Fiala. Jumbo up, however, behind the net as the Panthers scoop it up. Lob clears, the Kings get a stick in the way. Kulikov picks it up. Panthers with the last chance. 5 seconds. They'll make no attempt to get onto the net as Darcy Kemper was right there. Mikey Anderson pins the puck towards the wall, and that ends the first period with no score. 8-5 shot advantage as the officials were in the way. Sam Miskevich wanted a piece of Gavrikov, but nothing much transpired out of that. Scoreless here after one. 8-5 the shots in favor of the Kings. At the first intermission report in just a moment when we return. I am Alec Nava. See you then, everyone. No goals so far. The closest we've got was Adrian Kempe, who angrily slammed his stick after his shot was blocked and it was out of play. But we have physicality, a big hit from AJ Greer onto Tanner Jeannot. I'm Alec Nava. Welcome onto the first intermission report as we take a look at the rundown. No scoring, yet we have 2 penalties on the Panthers. Alexander Barkov for high sticking and Matt Kachuk for tripping. 1 penalty on the Kings. Warren Fogle for tripping. As we go on to the stat sheets, 8-5 the shots in favor of the Kings. 8-5 the hits in favor of the Panthers. The Kings have taken 10 of the 17 faceoffs. So block shots are 4-2 Panthers, takeaways 2-1 Panthers, giveaways 5-1 Panthers. So the first 2 games of tonight's NHL slate were 5-1 games. The Devils winning 5-1 over the Bruins. Morgan Geekie scored the first goal. It's been all Devils since. Dawson Mercer, Dougie Hamilton, Stefan Nason, and Mercer again, with Mercer's goals being at even strength, the ones from Hamilton and Nason on the power play. And this all in the second period. A 4-goal second period for New Jersey before Nico Hischier scored a power play goal in the third period. They add insult to injury. Columbus in the midst of their surprising season. The 5-1 victory over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Elvis Merzlikins with 28 saves in the win. And 5 goals from Columbus here. Adam Fantilli with a hat trick. 1 shorthanded, 1 even strength, and 1 on the empty net. Also adding goals for Columbus are James Van Riemsdyk and Luca Del Belus. Lone goal for Toronto is Austin Matthews. So Del Belus had a goal and an assist in the win for Columbus. In the win for New Jersey, they got themselves a nice effort from Jacob Markstrom and Jake Allen. Markstrom had to lead the game after taking a hit. 23:09 into the game. Jake Allen stopped all 16 shots in relief. We're tied 1-1 between the Winnipeg Jets and the Colorado Avalanche. Nathan MacKinnon struck first at the 6:09 mark of the second period. Devon Toews and Jonathan Drouin with the assists. David Gustafsson with his first of the year to even it all up. That's about that for your first goal of the year. We do have some news from the NFL slate. The Lions lose both their coordinators, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, as Johnson takes the head coaching job over at Chicago to help Caleb Williams take the next step. So Chicago wants to accelerate their rebuild and want to get up ahead. And this is huge for them, knowing that this year's been a disaster with Matt Eberflus and Thomas Brown. So now the Bears, they get their guy. And he's excited to coach a sweeping giant in the Bears. From Johnson's view as Detroit's offensive coordinator, the Bears were a sleeping giant. He game planned for his NFC North opponents in each of his past preseasons. No team in the division gave him concern more than Chicago. The offensive setup within the organization, he'll be tasked with guiding past the disastrous 5-12 finish, was particularly intriguing because of Caleb Williams. But not only him, but also with the likes of DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, and a defense that includes Montez Sweat, Jaylon Johnson, Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, and rising players like Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, and Jervon Dexter. The sleeping giant mentality excites Caleb, who was driving Monday afternoon when he received the call from the team's brass about the plans to hire Johnson. Williams let out a scream of excitement over the amount of clarity the decision provided for the offseason. So Williams added, "Not every player is Jared Goff, but you're yourself." That goes into that. Being able to have a coach that understands that and wants to build around me, and then the other personnel that we have on this team, the wide receivers, special wide receivers that we have, special running backs, all these different aspects of a team and an offense I think works in our favor and works in his favor. It's great that he knows that and understands that, because that brings another level of excitement, because now it's ours. It will be Caleb's offense. His plans to build around him. So that is the big key. One area Johnson's going to aim is upgrade the offensive line. Caleb's struggles with holding onto the ball too long, along with poor pass protection, led to the QB being sacked a league-high 68 times last season. Chicago's offense is not going to look like it did in Detroit, but one of the biggest strengths is the play of the offensive line for the Lions. Preliminary talks about how to bolster that unit for Williams' second season are already underway for Caleb Williams. And also, we have another news about Aaron Glenn being hired by the New York Jets. So Glenn told his friends his dream job was to coach the New York Jets, the franchise that made a first-round pick in 1994. That dream is now a reality. He was most recently Detroit Lions defensive coordinator, hired as the 19th non-interim head coach in Jets history. Terms are not disclosed. They are still looking to hire a general manager, conducting an in-person interview with former longtime Lions executive Lance Newmark, the only known candidate to have a second interview. Newmark was the Commander's assistant general manager in 2024, overlapped with Glenn in Detroit from 2021 to 2023. Senior personnel executive of the Bengals, Trey Brown, and Broncos assistant general manager Darren Mogi also have second interviews, per sources. The Jets need stability and success. Coming after 14 straight seasons outside the playoffs, the longest drought in America's four major men's professional sports leagues, tied with the Buffalo Sabres. The Jets are trying to rebound from a turmoil-filled season that included the firings of Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas. And because of the Lions' upset loss to the Commanders, Glenn became available sooner than expected. The Jets wasted no time in hiring him. Glenn spent 7 hours at the facility and returned to his Detroit home as talks continued. The Saints also showed strong interest. Glenn is a disciple of Bill Parcells, joining the late Walt Michaels as the only two players in Jets history to coach the team. Michaels played one game as a player coach in 1963 before becoming the head coach in 1977. Glenn starred for the Jets from 1994 to 2001, making 2 Pro Bowls. And Parcells said he expects Glenn to handle the New York pressure just fine. Glenn was involved in one of the most infamous plays in team history, the fake spike in 1994. He was the corner who got beat on Marino's last-second touchdown pass, but no one blamed him. He was one of the few players who wasn't duped by Marino's sleight of hand. After 15 years as a player on 5 different teams, he returned to the Jets as a personnel scout in the 2012 and 2013 seasons, transitioning into coaching, working as an assistant with the Cleveland Browns and New Orleans Saints before landing in Detroit as the defensive coordinator under Dan Campbell. He inherited the 32nd ranked scoring defense, and under his guidance, the Lions improved to the 7th ranked scoring defense this season, despite 18 players landing on the IR on defense. But the dream season has ended. Of a thud, Glenn's defense was overmatched by emerging star player Jaden Daniels. Parcells speaks regularly of Glenn, praising him for paying his dues. But Glenn's new challenge is enormous. None of the 6 coaches who preceded Glenn finished with a winning record. The last 3, Robert Saleh, Adam Gase, and Todd Bowles, managed only one winning season between them. Rex Ryan, won the 16 interview for the job, was the last coach to make the playoffs for the Jets in 2010. He's inheriting a 5-12 team, but one that has several talented players in their prime. But one of the biggest decisions will be Aaron Rodgers, who was undecided in his future, is eager to meet with team officials to discuss plans. If they move on from Rodgers, or if he decides to retire, Glenn and the new GM will have to make a move for a QB because all they have on the roster is backup Tyrod Taylor and 2024 5th-round pick Jordan Travis, who missed the entirety of his rookie year because of a season-ending injury sustained when he played at Florida State University. Glenn also has to sort out the wide receiver situation. Garrett Wilson's coming off a career year, but he was frustrated throughout the year and could ask for a trade or demand an extension. Devontae Adams was a productive midseason addition, but his remaining contract needs to be renegotiated. If not, he'll be released because the cap hit under his existing contract is prohibitive. The Jets have the 7th overall pick in the draft and a total of 8 picks, but they have only $25 million in cap room. They have 23 UFAs, including 6 starters. It will take some creative cap management to improve the roster under these restrictions. And also, Liam Cohen is part of the head coaching search for the Jacksonville Jaguars. General Manager Trent Baalke has been fired by the Jaguars hours after coaching candidate Liam Cohen decided to return to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. as their offensive coordinator. Sean Connery retained Balky when he fired Doug Peterson on January 6th, saying that the afternoon news conference and a complete organizational overhaul would be considered suicide. He also said that if any coaching candidate expressed reservations about the organizational structure or get Balky, he'd be willing to address the topic. May have been what spurred this move. After Ben Johnson took the Bears job, Cole was a potential frontrunner and was scheduled to have a second interview with the Jaguars, but he opted to remain with the Bucks as their OC, along with significant raise. So, that is the recent in Jacksonville. We'll have more in the news around the NFL in the second intermission report. Second period is up momentarily. I am Alec Nava. See you then for the second. Getting ready to start the second period here at Los Angeles. Scoreless here after one period. 8-5 the lead in favor of the Kings in terms of shots. Jeremy Roenick joins the NHL on TNT studio. It was recently named to the Hall of Fame as we're underway in the second period. As this puck goes out of play. Joel Edmondson in the midst of it. So Roenick being a 2024 Hockey Hall of Fame inductee with significant contributions on the ice throughout his career. Anze Kopitar is back deep in his own end towards his left. Adrian Kempe out there as well as top line against second line between the Kings and Panthers respectively. Sam Bennett for the face-off at that right circle. Panthers win it. Schmidt Up and around at the far side of the boards. Taking this around for the near side. As two of the more physical teams square off at the far corners. This bounces up and around. Panthers keep. Sam Miskevich through two Kings. Gets it back over to Schmidt. Long shot was stopped off the pass of Kemper. Moved up front as the Kings send this one through off the boards. Mikkola recollects for Florida. Mikkola sends it up through the near side of the ice for Sam Bennett. But this goes back for the Kings as they send this one up. It's a foot race for the opposite side. Photo finish here between Fogel and Schmidt. And Fogel believes that he won that foot race. The officials were not buying it. It is an icing. But it felt like that this should have been kept on. This should have kept on going. Sergei Bobrovsky being on the bench here right now, given that he played yesterday in the 5-2 win against the Anaheim Ducks. Panthers win another faceoff. His forward swing and a snapshot. Rebound in front. Loose over the right side of the ice. Scooped up and the Panthers keep. Kulikov blasts away. And Kemper got a piece. Forward swing sends it off the stick shaft of Kemper. Back at the point. Kulikov could not pick this one up. All the way back in his own zone. Shots are even up at 8 apiece. To the far side, Barkov skates this one in and dances at the far corner. Barkov to the front. Bounced off of Byfield. Vogel picks it up. Wanting to get this one up and out, and does. Race for this puck. Will this be an icing? And yes, it is. Gustav Forswing won the foot race. So that sets the Panthers up for another chance. As Tkachuk will head to the bench. And the Panthers get another line change. They take a shot off the Panthers here. Tkachuk, a two-time All-Star. He is representing Team USA in the Four Nations face-off. Native of St. Louis, Missouri, and good friends with Jason Tatum. Anyone saw the high school pictures? Bjornfot sets up in front. And that one was a little wacky there as this the Kings will get it out. Panthers want to drive it in as Kemper plays it over to near corner for Gavrikov, who lofts it all the way out. At the red line, LA sweeps this in. Byfield setting up, tripped up as he was falling down. No penalty is called. At the near side, this is Bjornfot, who sends it opposite wing. At the far side, Kings scoop it. Panthers keep. In the zone still from the right point. Turnaround shot. Loose in front. Lundell trying to pick it up. Can't. It is Deneau who is in the way. Philip Deneau waits it over at the near half boards. Mikkola twisted and turned him around. Knight plays it over at the far side. At the far half boards. At the far quarter. Kings keep. At the left point. Moverar slaps it deep. Rebound chance in front. It's loose still. Near half boards picked up and scooped by the Panthers. They'll move it with Nosek leading the way. At the trapezoid. Kemper plays it out far corner. All the way up front as this is the Panthers who'll get there first. Schmidt from Mikkola who'll send it deep up through center ice. Nosek had it bounce off of him. The Kings want to get something as they had the majority of chances in the first period, but they're finding nothing here in this second period. Schmidt holding his own as he goes across the red line. Around for the near boards, winding up at the far corner for Edmonton as it took a bounce and then out to center. Foot race. Schmidt there, but this goes out in front. Out of reach of Lewis at the near corner. Lewis sends this one around as it's gloved down by Florida. Nosek will move it up. Moving to the opposite side is Evan Rodriguez. Fan on his pass. The Kings will scoop it, but turn it back directly to the Panthers. Up across they go as Schmidt onto the near corner. Swept aside from Greer. Greer wants to continue with it, but this bounced onto Edmondson. Joe Edmondson up for center ice again. A lot of neutral zone action here in the second period as the Kings want to get it up once again. Sam Bennett hounding Adrian Kempe as it's for the left circle. Bounced around several times. Knight was there. The far half boards. This bounced over to the red line. And then an additional push forward. Turcotte there. Near half boards once again as Losterinen and Sam Miskevich both combine to take possession. This is sent around for the far boards and get the near half boards, and the Kings once again move it up with speed. Turcotte rushing back is Bjornfot and he tackles him. At the near half boards again. This goes to the point for Moverar. At the left point, slap shot. Stopped by Knight. At the far side, Winding up with that is Florida. Bolinski's picking this one up. Uvis Bolinski's moves it through in front of the red lines. He dumps it in. At the far corner, battle for the puck as Lostarina was there, so was Byfield. Not cleared out as Florida wants to keep. This bounce onto the Kings. Now up. That's it's Anderson slowing down control. Moore slides right by. He takes a spill. Tkachuk sends it backwards, and for the far side, the Panthers send it up. Gavrikov, a push from Tkachuk as this bounces up. This puck is still free, and it goes onto the Panther end. Forsling gets the first one back, nearly 5 minutes deep. Moved it up as it takes an additional bounce. The Kings want to take it back up. Moving it aside, and up for the far side, the Panthers are in. A shot bounced off of Kemper, rebound! And for the high swat, Tkachuk saw this puck go past him. 3-on-2 on the rush as this is Byfield. Late pass, but this is kept in by Spence. Kings exit out in a mass exodus as Forsling takes it back for the Panthers, up for Barkov. This gets bounced up, and through the far side, this is Edmonton aside for Spence, who drops it back for Edmonton. Edmonton on a long stretch pass. This goes around to the far corner. Two Kings there as a tangle up with Lundell in the middle of it. Verhaeghe helping out Lundell. A King takes a spill, a shot in tight. Second effort. Knight was there to stop both of them. Jordan Spence keeps it in. The Aussie. Onto the opposite side. And when the Panthers falls down, whistle blows here. 5:50 deep into the second period. And the penalty box doors are open. I think it's a penalty against the Kings. And it's Philip Deneau. He'll sit down for 2 minutes. One of their best penalty killers. So Wayne Gretzky rooting for Alex Ovechkin to break the goal scoring record. The all-time goal scoring record in the NHL. The record as it stands is 894. And as we check on Ovechkin about the goal scoring record, of course that record is close. But so far, we have yet to see if he can successfully pass him. But he is hungry for it, and he wants to do it. Right here. Off the face-off, the Panthers are back on the man advantage with Deneau in the box. One of LA's best penalty killers. Deep shot, stopped by Kemper off of Schmidt. Panthers keep it as Barkov at the far half boards around Kopitar. Barkov sets up down low as it is Matthew Tkachuk setting up front as this shot goes wide. Gavrikov wanting to clear and successfully does so. And the NHL goal scoring chase, the great chase as some would put it, Ovechkin ranks 16th in goals scored in the NHL. On his career, he's sitting at 874. Panthers move it up. At the far point, the Panthers send it around. Near boards, ends on Verhaeghe's stick. It's sliced by Barkov behind the net once again. Tkachuk wraps it around, and his spinorama pass was a little too late for Barkov, but Barkov has it at the left circle. He looks, shoots it off the post, and it's over at the far half boards. Up front, there's a shove. Ends up with Barkov. Looking to set up backwards. A shot. Save. Rebound wide of the net. It was a wide open net for Barkov. Oh my goodness. The Kings dodge a bullet as it was cleared. Kind of like that one scene in Henry Stickmin. Sam Bennett sends it towards the middle. Bennett weaving his way through two Kings in the narrowest of holes. Near corner gets sent for Bolinski's. At the right circle and the right point. Set up pass for Sam Miscavige. Deep shot. Rebound in front. Scores! Off the end boards and lands onto the hot rod. Evan Almighty and the Panthers on the board. The shot misses short side. But Evan Rodriguez makes no mistake. Mackie Samoskevich intended for it to be a deep shot but for deflection in front. But as it missed, Lundell sees he was closed off, but does a little nice backhand pass right across. Sliding onto Evan Rodriguez, who was wide open at the front of the crease. And Kemper had no chance as he was hyper-focused on Lundell. Rodriguez had the first goal at the Stanley Cup Final. Kings sent it in. 11 apiece the shots. Panthers lead where matters. On the score, it is 1-0. A slide here for Barkov as this is sent deep. Kemper plays it out far corner. Kings trying to avoid losing free straight. Panthers trying to win free straight. Sent inside to Fiala. Now moving up front. Turcotte right in front trying to tie it. Can't do it there as this Kopitar will get sandwiched along through the backboards. Up front, this takes a bounce. Several ties. Oh, heavy collision. This puck bounces on around. This could be a chance here for the Kings. One-timer right in front. Tap pass. And Knight grabbed it mid-air. He caught air Tony Hawk style. And Tanner Jeannot wants a word with A.J. Greer to tic-tac-toe. And I can't believe that Anze Kopitar missed this wide open opportunity as this took a pinball bounce off of his skate. Won't get a chance any better than that one. We'll be back. Happened on that last shift as Kopitar gets shoved by Greer. Wasn't all too fond of that as Kopitar shoved down Greer. But this is what the Panthers want to do. Get in your head. AJ Greer, he missed one of the Kings. And then Kopitar was the recipient of a pass right in front and didn't get anything out of that on the shot in front. He was wide open to try to get that back door. No penalties out this. As Kopitar cross-checked Greer, got away with it. That is a retaliation penalty. Cannot do that. 14-8. It hits in favor of the Panthers. Tkachuk sends this backwards. And up front, this is a dump in. Well, this is sent in from behind the red line. And so it's an icing against the Kings. Next goal odds, minus 135 in the sports books in favor of the Kings with the retired numbers once again. Luc Robitaille, Marcel Dion, Rob Blake, Wayne Gretzky. And one-timer off the face-off from Gavrikov that was stopped by Knight. 85 on the shot officially. Luostarinen will move it up the far side. Kopitar has 431 career goals. Tied for third most in Kings franchise history with Dave Taylor. Kopitar wanted to pass him tonight for sole possession of third as this is bouncing up on the queer. Panthers sweep it away from the approaching Trevor Moore. That was Mikla who was right there on the spot. Tkachuk turns it over to the far side. This is bouncing up and around. At the far side, moved up by Florida as this takes a bounce. Los Angeles back up with this is Gavrikov. Oh my goodness. One of the Kings went up and over as Knight will play this back for Bolinski's. That King lost his stick in the process. Got involved in a slight tangle. Not much on that. Kemper leads it behind. It's a dangerous opportunity as he was settle in his net. Battle at the near corner. Hellenius goes after it, but the Panthers were there first. Right around the far half boards, Bennett holds. This takes a bounce. Kings will get it out. 3-on-2 if they hurry up. Nothing there. The Panthers were back deep. They sweep it away. Bennett holding on to this puck. Soft shot right on Darcy Kuemper. He'll hold on to it. Windmill. And by the way, we have an update from Denver, Colorado. The Winnipeg Jets up 2-1. The first goal instead credited to Morgan Barron. It's the first assist of the year for David Gustafson. Josh Morrissey has 2 assists. Gabe Velarde with the second goal for Winnipeg. Face off to the right of Kuemper. Stanley Cup champion of the Colorado Avalanche in 2022. Gustav forcing out the face-off win for the Panthers. Let's circle with his Boquist. Eric Cartman wanting Kings fans to chant, "Go Kings, go." At the far corner, this is the Panthers with this as Jordan Spence is pinning Carter Verhaeghe along to the wall. Dunno in a one-on-one scuffle with Boquist. Panthers trying to get the heads of the Kings, they see. Akil Thomas sends it out. And this will be an icing against the Kings again with 9:44 to go in the second period. Did we see a cameo appearance from Kenny McCormick or any of the other South Park boys? Oh. Well, it's nice to see them up here. The Kings have 1 representative Four Nations face-off, Adrian Kempe for Sweden. The Panthers have 8 representatives in the Four Nations face-off. Forcing on the tap pass for Barkov as the shot lane was closed off. Thomas was in the way. Loose stick on the ice. At the near side, Kings moving up with numbers. Dano trying to drop it back. This takes a bounce off a body. Panthers get it out. And it'll be recollected by LA. They'll restart. Gavrikov for Fiala as he'll send it backwards. Gavrikov again over to Anderson. Mikey Anderson from the red line sends it around for the far boards. Kachuk first there at the near side. Near corner, this takes a shove. Kings wanting to keep, and they do. As Gavrikov will handle it from the blue line. Shot and the rebound was swept away off the bounce off Knight's pad. Moving up is Barkov as he'll drop it over to Reinhart. Reinhart lost it, and it's an offside against Florida. 8:54 to go in the second period. Shots are 13 apiece. And Evan Rodriguez at the inside tracks as he gets some pucks over to some lucky fans who have attended this game. Some lucky fans or the visitors who made this trip all the way across. Good of them to make the trip all the way across and show some support. But also, perhaps to help out the wildfire victims here in Los Angeles. We'll return here in a moment. Battle of attrition or war of attrition here throughout this game. 1-0 Panthers lead, but it's been more defensive here throughout. They play defensive brands of hockey. Saved by Kuemper on a shot from the high slot. He'll hang on to that one and not giving up a rebound. Goaltending has been something in which the Kings have seen a resurgence in. Even though Kuemper gave up that only goal, Evan Rodriguez was right there on the doorstep to capitalize. Right place, right time. It's the only goal of this game, and it was on a power play. No even strength goals to speak of. Panthers quietly having one of the best power plays in the league. Having an offensive resurgence. Mackie Samoskevich, a Michigan product. In this lineup on the everyday basis. Boqvist loses this face-off to Anze Kopitar as the Kings can't get it out. It's just held in at a deep right point. Now opposite side, the near half boards. Boqvist on the hold. Battle at the near corner, and this is scooped up by Verhaeghe, who wants to set up. Verhaeghe to Nate Schmidt, a long shot for the blue line as this bounced off of Kuemper and out of play. Now the 15th shot already for Florida as they're rolling with numbers. So we do have some news about the NFL. We'll take you there to the second intermission report. We'll check in with some NBA score lines here and there. Kuemper is 4-2-3 his first 10 games, 9-2-2 his last 13. It's been a tale of two different spans for Kuemper. He's been hot, finding his stride on a defensive-oriented team. Sam Bennett takes it across, drops it back over to Samoskevich, and Kuemper had to make the saves on the approaching Samoskevich. Played at the University of Michigan for hockey. At the overtime winner against Penn State in a Big Ten showdown at Allentown, native of Newtown, Connecticut. We do have another game for you tomorrow. That is the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. You have some major news coming out. That one we'll get to you at the second intermission report. But in essence, 2 players suspended. Puck loose in front on this puck battle at the front of the net. Edmondson sweeps it away. Florida just holds it in. Bolinski's with a deep shot blocked in front. And this is swept aside as the Kings look to clear, and they do. Scuffle between Akil Thomas at the near half boards. The Panthers take up possession again. Bennett around for the near boards. Edmondson was the first one there at the far corner. Scoped up by LA. They want to clear, and this bounces up and out. Kings the first one to arrive there as Jordan Spence sends it down. Florida retrieves. Now up front, as they're trying to move with pace. At the near side, Bennett will send it directly onto Kuemper and hold. So as to deny the approaching Evan Rodriguez of an opportunity. So in short, so for the NHL, both Connor McDavid and Tyler Myers have each been suspended 3 games for 2 separate cross-checks. And McDavid is not appealing the suspension. He's not proud of the reaction by that. As we get back underway, as this is Florida with it, closing in off the side of the cage, and the Kings are trying to scoop it up at the near corner. It's picked up by the Kings. They clear the zone. All the way back to their own zone are the Panthers. They are buzzing right now. At the far half boards, Rodriguez moves it up. They'll play this one over to the far corner. Back to back as they move this one up, and Darcy Kuemper hangs on to this one. 6:55 to go here in the second quarter. Second period, I mean. Thinking basketball all of a sudden, or football. Well, it is the middle of the NFL playoffs. I'm a little fuzzled up internally, admittedly. But given that it's football season, from that perspective, can't wait to cover this was transpiring this coming Sunday. The 9th showdown between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. 4th time in 5 years in which the two have met in the playoffs. So as we get Jen on board, how are you?
Hello, Alec. How are you doing? I saw you had your space open. I had to come hang out with you.
Hey, doing well myself.
That's good.
So this game on TNT is still underway here in the second period. The Kings, they're pressuring the Panthers here for the first time in a while. They have not a shot in a long time. Near quarter, the Kings buzzing as Forsling pins Moore. Knight can't pick it up on the left side as Spencer Knight in the crease. Sergei Bobrovsky played yesterday in a 5-2 win over the Anaheim Ducks. Gustav Forsling sends it through the zone for Barkov, tied up with Anderson, one of the more underrated defensemen in the league. Tkachuk tried to pry it free. Byfield also there. Poke free once, twice, 3 times. And Anderson, no hand in the air. Anderson aside, over to Gavrikov. Vladislav Gavrikov moves it up. And at the near half of the boards, Panthers are all over the ice as they take it back into the zone. Stick tie-ups as Alex Turcotte moves it through. Panthers can't hold it. They'll have to regroup from their own end. Nate Schmidt is back deep, waiting patiently with this puck. Schmidt will casually make his way over to the offensive zone on this lead pass for Boquist. Boquist's pass goes wide, bounces off the cage. Tie-up off the Kings as they want to clear. At the far half boards, Florida keeps the pressure alive as that last shot was blocked. Bouncing puck, and the Kings can't get a breakaway. We have no breakaways in this game. Good job by both defenses as Schmidt is back with the puck. On the attacking zone as the pass in front was blocked. Panthers keep shot this block from Samoskevich as it was forced wide. Bjornfot was doing an excellent job of filling in a hole left behind by the vacancy of Aaron Ekblad. Kempe spun and turned. Right behind the net of Kemper as the Kings want to clear and do. Puck is settled down by Uvis Bolinskis, the only Latvian on the team, as this puck goes over to the benches as we get onto the stoppage. 4:51 to go here in the second period. As we get Ian on board. How are we doing, my good friend?
Oh, we are doing well tonight, man. I just looked at the scores. Is Columbus a war machine now?
I mean, they just beat Toronto 5-1, and the highlight of that game wasn't any particular goal. It was a fight, a relentless fight between Ryan Reeves and Matthew Olivier, 2 heavyweights in this National Hockey League.
Wow.
Yep. And Columbus 7-2-1 in their last 10 games, in firm possession of the first wild card as well.
Wow. Just amazing.
Yeah. Inspirational as well.
Yep.
And I know for a fact that Columbus doesn't do all that well on the road. They're 7-13-4 on the road compared to 16-5-3 at home. But this has to do some more for their confidence on the road that they can play catch up with anyone. Adam Fantilli had a hat trick. That's a Michigan product right there, Jen.
There's a lot of good hockey players that come out of Michigan. I will say that.
Yep.
Fantilli being one of them.
My Blues somehow eked out a win against the Vegas Golden Knights, although they did their utmost to give that game away. To my continued frustration, Alec, when will we find consistency?
Oh. At this rate, I just want to focus on other NHL games and just continue to say that the end is nigh for the Penguins, sadly. Back underway here between the Panthers and Kings. The Panthers struck first on the power play with Evan Rodriguez wide open at the side of the cage. Off that beautiful feed on the backhand from Anton Lundell. Initially set up from a shot pass that was intentionally wide from Mackie Samoskevich. Far side, as we're continuing to do battle here. Losterinen back deep. And this is loose over at the front. Cleared off a stick. So this icing is going to be waved off. It was off a stick of a Panther. Florida's trying to set up. Losterinen moving up front. Florida's at firm control of the second period. They've outshot the Kings 13-5 in this middle frame. Went off of Kemper on that last dump in. And so the Kings will try to move it up. Quinton Byfield up across. Kings are looking for consistency, and they're looking to avoid losing 3 straight games. In their last 7 games, they have been on this losing skid, scoring 2 or less goals in 6 of those games, 1 or less goals in 3. At the near corner of the Panthers zone, Kings are trying to set up, but can't find anything. Kulikov, closed off by Trevor Moore, or actually Trevor Moore is in pursuit of Matthew Tkachuk. You remember Moore's from the nearby Thousand Oaks, California, which is near the Los Angeles area, so he's a hometown boy. Their corner is in pursuit of both teams, with the Panthers trying to hold possession. Matthew Tkachuk and Sam Reinhart in a straitjacket as Gavrikov pokes it free. At the far corner, Reinhart right there to keep it in for Florida. Down on his knees is Tkachuk as he sets up in front, intended for who I believe was Barkov, and as bounces up and out. Panthers in control again as Mikkola will move it forward over to the near half boards for Reinhart. Nate Schmidt moving it up. And behind onto the trapezoid is Jacob Moverar, but he gets tied up. At the right point, this is a deep shot at the right side, which is wide of the net. Held inside by Florida as Jesper Boquist is back at the trapezoid. Good hit by the Kings as they take up possession, take it away from the Panthers. Off the far half boards, Bowinski's in pursuit. So are the Kings as they want to even up this game at 1 apiece. Sam Helenius back deep at the near corner. Moved aside from Genge. Keeping this in, who I believe is, can't get a number on it, but it's one of the Kings. But now the Panthers with Jesper Boquist. Oh my goodness, was there a scuffle right there over the Panther bench. HungryMako, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
By myself. So, a lot of action here. Hard hitting, as was seen in the first period between Tanner Jeannot and AJ Greer. These two are very tough defensive teams. Anderson and Tkachuk, they were in a scuffle with each other, and Darcy Kemper took exception to what Tkachuk had to offer. Battle over the near corner as Byfield and Kempe are in a straitjacket, and this puck is free for the Panthers, sending this one over to the near corner. Kemper moves it out, held in by the Panthers at the far half boards. 1:38 to go in the period. Kings try to tie it up at 1. For the far side, Kings play their brand of hockey, which is a more defensive brand of hockey. Near corner, as a setback to the right point, but not for Jordan Spence. Moving up are the Panthers. Tomas Nosek sends it in. Shot is blocked. Kemper! Oh, he had to rush in to cover up a potential rebound chance. 1:21 to go as Kopitar has some discussions with Evan Rodriguez. A little chance here, and I did mention about a particular game that I mentioned for tomorrow, which I'll cover. Canucks and Oilers. Of note, Connor McDavid and Tyler Myers will not be playing. That's because the last time these two teams faced, they delivered 2 separate cross-checks and have each been suspended 3 games for said cross-checks, and in turn, they will not be available for this game. So it kind of evens out, but for the Oilers, could this spell trouble up against a Canucks team that's on the fringes of playoff berth with the Calgary Flames. 1:10 in the period. Kings trying to settle down. Nate Schmidt wants to clear. At the left point, held in by Los Angeles on a tight shot, up and over. And this gets over at the far half boards. It kicked outside off of Knight twice as the Kings are looking for something. 50 seconds ago as LA is looking for some chances. Gavrikov all the way across for Anderson. Deep shot was blocked in front. Panthers come up away of possession. Here is Barkov moving up for the ice. Barkov sends it off of Kemper, who leaves it for Mikey Anderson. And could this be icing? No, it will not. Just a few inches shy of it. 25 seconds left in the period as Kulikov slows the action down. Dmitry Kulikov. Several stick dangles up with this for the near side boards. Gavrikov moves it away at the near corner for Fiala. Kevin Fiala back in the wall. Gave it away. Deep shot bounces off of Kemper. Bad giveaway there for the Kings as they want to run out the clock here. And they're lucky to be down by 1 and not down by 2 at that last sequence. That was a bad giveaway by Kevin Fiala as Vladislav Gavrikov gets stung at the end of the second period. The shots, which were originally 8-5 Kings at the end of one, are now 22-14 Panthers. They outshot the Kings 17-6 in that second period as Gavrikov took a block up at the face. Ouch. Now look at him to come up to the end of the second period.
Just a quick scoring update. The Avalanche have tied it against the Jets. Second goal scored by Cale Makar.
Perennial Norris Trophy candidate Ian. Of course, he's going to be up in that conversation. 16th goal of the year for him. Of course, who else but the high-end talent for the Avalanche to tie this one up? Mikko Rantanen and Jonathan Drouin, the assists. Our goaltenders are Connor Hellebuck and Mackenzie Blackwood, two superb netminders. And now that we're in the halftime report, did mention this at the first intermission report. Halftime report. Second intermission report. I'm thinking football again, aren't I? Which is exactly what we're going to talk about now. Jen, going over to your Jaguars, have fired Trent Baalke. That's got to be a huge sigh of relief for Jags Nation left and right, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little late. They should have did it back when they fired Peterson, but hopefully we can still come up with some solutions for Trevor and the rest of the Jags this year to get us back in those playoffs and back where we need to be.
And there was much rejoicing. Yay!
There you go. Though the over to a divisional rival, and I was not expecting this news. The new general manager of the Titans, Mike Borgonzi, is open to trading out the number one pick of the draft, much like what the Titans did when they were the number one pick previously, in which they trade that pick to the Rams so that the Rams can take Jared Goff. But in that same trade for the Titans, they got Derrick Henry out of it. The Titans want to repeat what they did in the 2016 draft and trade out of it. Could this be a potential good move, or should they stick with the number one pick?
Well, you have to look at it this way. Right now, okay, let's take a look at their quarterback situation, and let's be straight up. It sucks. Will Levis is not good, and their backup is
Mason Rudolph.
Mason, okay, yeah, you're not, even if he's still young, you're not getting anyone with Mason Rudolph. So, but then again, they don't have much of a team anyway. So, maybe trading out the number one spot and just accruing a bunch of draft capital to maybe find a quarterback in later years and hopefully build a team that you can just insert that quarterback in. It wouldn't be a bad idea because they have problems with their line, their defense, other than maybe their defensive line is non-existent. I don't even know who their linebackers are. So, yeah, trading out the number one spot and setting the price that you want. Sure, why not?
Because the only players on defense as of note in are Jeffrey Simmons and Ojarius Sneed. And Sneed himself had a down year compared to his seasons with the Chiefs.
Yep, and as a result of the Titans' failures, the Chiefs are going to be picking near the top of the third round. Thank you, Titans.
Well, here is that. If to think about.
Yeah, but let's see. If we're thinking about teams that would trade, if they're going to trade out of it, I think that either the Giants or the Raiders are going to trade up and try and snag a QB.
I mean, there are a lot of quarterback needy teams in the NFL, and whoever loses out in the NFL draft arms race on Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, it's likely going to have to be scrambling for a stopgap quarterback. Giants are a QB needy team. Raiders are a QB needy team. Titans are a QB needy team, but let's be real, there's not a lot for them over there.
Yeah, and I don't know what the Browns... I don't think the Browns even know what they're doing.
Me neither. I mean, because Deshaun Watson's likely going to be out for all of next season. And if that's the case, I don't know what they're going to be doing at their quarterback situation. You guys see that they're going to be taking another stopgap quarterback? Do they go with the draft, or do they stick with famous Jameis?
Probably stick with famous Jameis and see what happens after that.
What say the other you two? Jen? HungryMako?
I have no idea what Cleveland's going to do. They've got to move away from Watson. They have to. I mean, he re-ruptured an already ruptured Achilles, right? And so he's going to miss the season next year too.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know that they're kind of strapped because of his contract, but sooner or later, I think they're just going to have to swallow that and move on. I mean, I don't think it's a choice, really. But, is in this draft, I don't know if any of the quarterbacks coming out are worth a first. I mean, not the first pick in the draft.
Project picks.
I mean, at this point, I could actually see someone trade. I could see a team that's not quarterback needy trading up to number 1 and taking Travis Hunter and saying, nope, ours, goodbye.
The Patriots.
Yeah.
Well, where do the Patriots pick? They have the 4th pick, right?
Yep.
Let's see. You said 4th?
Yeah, number 4.
I think they're 4th.
Yeah, they're 4th.
Yeah, they're 4th in the order. So that is that.
And they don't need a quarterback.
Yeah, they already have Drake May.
And everything that I've heard points to them taking that kid out of Penn State to the edge.
Abdul Carter.
Yes.
He's a beast. Like, he was wreaking havoc entering Penn State's run to the Final Four. So that's a good choice for New England. They need a defense. They also need weapons and an offensive line to build around Drake May. Defense is a good issue to address as well. And having Abdul Carter on your pass rush, that's going to be an instant day one impact on your team for whoever gets him.
Now, as for a team that could trade up, I would say, okay, this is going to sound nuts. Hang on, let me go ahead and look up the draft order, because there is a chance that somebody jumps to take Travis Hunter once again. You know what? Okay. What about, do you think Carolina, maybe, no, not number 1, but do you think Carolina would trade up with, say, Jacksonville to try and get a shot at Hunter?
What position is Jacksonville drafting at?
5.
5. All right. That's if he's available at 5. And that's if New England decides not to snag him away at number 4. Or
I don't think New England will, because they got May.
Well, no, but if they wanted to give May a wide receiver, they draft Hunter. Although, personally, I think their problem is line. I think they take the best graded left tackle.
Well, do we know that he's going to play wide receiver in the NFL, or is he going to be a DB?
that's another question.
Either way. Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I wouldn't mind him coming to Jacksonville. I really wouldn't. but I would, because we got BTJ, and I feel like Engum and Kirk keep getting injured every season to the point where they're going out repeatedly. We need somebody else besides BTJ.
And what if he plays corner on Jacksonville, Jen? Right opposite Tyson Campbell. Would that be a good fit?
It would. It would, from what I've seen him play in college. So yeah, I would take him. No problem.
You have no issues there. Now Carolina's picking 8th. I tried to look at some mock drafts boards to see what the mock draft would look like. What Mel Kiper's mock draft board looks like: Cam Ward to Tennessee at 1. Travis Hunter to Cleveland at number 2. Shedeur Sanders to the Giants at number 3. Abdul Carter to the Patriots at number 4. The Jaguars would take Mason Graham from Michigan, by the way, at number 5. Probably
We'll take any Michigan player gladly.
basically best available in that case. Now, Las Vegas is in no position to draft a high-profile quarterback at number 6. So they have to, so in the Mel Kiper draft board, they had to settle for Tataria McMillan from Arizona at number 6. Number 7, Jets pick best available, Michael Williams from Georgia. And number 8, Carolina picks from Georgia, Jalen Walker. Those are 2 linebackers off the board. So Williams being an edge rusher. Guess that is to give someone opposite Jermaine Johnson, from my belief, or Hassan Reddick. They want to rotate between Williams and Johnson over the edge rusher core. And that could do. Will Johnson falls to 9th overall with the Saints. Good new addition there to fill in the CB room with Kool-Aid McKinstry on board. And Alontae Taylor and Paulson Adebo. Possibly finding the Marshawn Lattimore replacement. That's a big key. So that is the first 9 that I'm mentioning. Now, about all of this, about the McDavid and Myers fiasco and the cross-checks, the 3-game suspension is the longest that McDavid will serve in his NHL career. He's won the Hart Trophy 3 times, the Conn Smythe Trophy once. But that suspension was for a cross-check to the head of Connor Garland. For Myers' case, he delivered a cross-check to the head of Evan Bouchard. Both players have earned match penalties, and those suspensions mean that neither one will be available when they meet again tomorrow night. McDavid and Garland were toppling onto the ice, and McDavid was trying to get back onto his skates. Garland held his arm, which resulted in McDavid giving him a glove punch to free himself. McDavid tried to return to the play, but Garland wrapped his arms around McDavid to take him to the ice a second time around. Garland continued to obstruct McDavid when both of them were up to his feet, but that was the point when McDavid had enough. He snapped and delivered a cross-check to Garland's head. But that was not a routine play by McDavid to box out an opponent or gain body position. It's very rare to see McDavid snap like this. Very rarely do you see him lose his cool like this. He's usually calm.
Well, some guys just snap. I mean, you know, it happens. See, this is why this is why hockey can get anyone riled up. Because even the most, let's say it like this, even the most professional player will become a bit of a goon if pushed too far.
Yeah, even the nice guys can lose their cool as well.
Yep.
It's been a theme around through it's been familiar with TV shows that sometimes the nice guy loses their cool. SpongeBob. Oh, who's blowing the air horn over the NHL TNT studio? Oh, and Anson Carter showing shifting moves right around the ice. I guess Biz wants to bring out the air horn. Oh. But right after that play from McDavid, Myers cross-checked Bouchard in the head. Finished a check on Bouchard along the boards as play was whistled dead. They exchanged light slashes, but as Bouchard glided towards Myers with one hand on his stick, Myers delivered a cross-check to Bouchard's head with both hands on his stick. Bouchard's neck snapped back, and he quickly grabbed his face as he fell onto the ice. Myers argued he didn't intend to deliver a cross-check to Bouchard's head, but video replay shows Bouchard's gloves coming up as Myers delivers a cross-check. The Department of Player Safety said it didn't believe Myers delivered a cross-check that was directed towards the body to rise up the opponent, but one that was delivered cleanly to the head of Bouchard onto the plate. An intentional cross-check by Myers, who raised his stick significantly to initiate the contact. So, both of these players have been previously suspended in their NHL careers. McDavid was suspended once for an illegal check to the head on Nick Leddy in February 2019, and was also fined $5,000 for elbowing Jesperi Kotkaniemi in March of 2021. For Myers, he was suspended 3 games for boarding Scott Gomez in March 2012, and another 3 games for an illegal check to the head of Dinas Zubris in 2014. Has also fined twice his NHL career previously. McDavid will forfeit $195,312.51 in salary, while Myers will forfeit $46,875,000 of his salary. This money will go to the Players' Emergency Assistance Fund, and McDavid is not appealing his suspension. And I get the reaction from McDavid that he is frustrated with the suspension, but I understand why he's not appealing it. He knows he did something wrong, and he knows he lost his cool. So,
well, look, even if his conduct is justified by some, the fact of the matter is, it was illegal, and someone's got to get punished.
Yep, there you go. So that's for this rundown as we're nearing this third period. Only goal, Evan Rodriguez on the power play from Anton Lundell and Mackie Samoskevich. Darcy Kemper is stopped 21 of 22. Spencer Knight is 14 of 14, maintaining a shutout. And team stats, shots are 22-14 Panthers, hits are 20-13 Panthers, faceoffs 19-17 Kings, blocks are 12-8 Kings, takeaways 4-2 Panthers, and giveaways 8-7 Panthers. And in the Great Chase, the Capitals aren't playing today, but Alex Ovechkin is 21 goals away from passing Wayne Gretzky. That's our latest on the Great Chase. So, getting back onto ice level momentarily here at Los Angeles. Still needs help on the wildfire relief. Any amount helps. You can help donate to the American Red Cross. Help wildfire victims. We begin the third period with Anze Kopitar onto the ice as the Panthers take the opening draw. The Panthers have been so good at protecting third period leads. They've been on such a winning run and have not lost in regulation for a long time. I think the streak is at, I don't know how many games, but it's north of 73 such games last I checked. And figure it out. It's this Mackie Samoskevich on the return back. He fires and is stopped by Kemper. First shot of this third period was turned away. Tkachuk holds it in. Samoskevich again. Stopped by Kemper. Point blank. A 2-on-1 battle. And up at the right side as Samoskevich took the keep from Tkachuk. That was mostly him as he went backhand, forehand on Kuemper. The shot got blocked. That's a Michigan product right there, who played with Adam Fantilli in college. Another Michigan product, Gavin Brindley, is in the Columbus Blue Jackets organization. It's weird that they're on the other side of that they're going from Ann Arbor to Columbus just like that. Faceoff is won by Sam Reinhart. Back deep is Dmitry Kulikov. Matvey Tkachuk on the hold. This gets blocked in front by Byfield. Byfield clears it out. And at the far half boards, the Panthers scoop. Twirling around as this is around for Tkachuk and Barkov. Barkov closed off by Kevin Fiala. And Fiala will lob it deep. And on the glove downs, the Kings take this in. Byfield tied up by Tkachuk and Forsling. Back across as this gets cleared out. Just enough. Gavrikov up front. Moving it for Warren Foegele. Holding it over the near corner is Trevor Moore. Bouncing puck up front. And the Panthers will take it back. Alexander Barkov moving it over to the far side as a shot from Verhaeghe. And there was a stick on it by Kuemper. A minute 31 into the third. No scoring updates from the Avalanche game. Last we've seen it's a 2-2 tie. But Colorado is on the power play. Nikolai Ehlers to the box for tripping. Florida when leading this season, 18-1-0. The Kings when trailing on the other hand, 3-8-1. So their regulation losing streak when leading heading into the third period is over for the Panthers. Panthers trying to get back into the zone as this is bouncing up around over the Panther end. Brandt Clark. This gets kept in by Florida on the backhand. Oh, February 18th, the Killers come over to Los Angeles. It's going to be good. They're on tour. Florida back with this. 2 minutes deep into the third, weaving their way through. Kings recollect, slapping this one around. From Fiala, and this goes opposite side as LA keeps it. Bound deep. At the far half boards, this still gets loose. Bouncing up and around, taken away by Nate Schmidt. Off of the trapezoid, Fiala sticks it away from Rodriguez. Fiala falls down and Miko loses stick. Deep shot blocked away and forced wide. Bouncing around up to neutral ice. And this will go all the way back for Los Angeles' zone, which is Edmonton, over to Jordan Spence. Joel Edmondson, former St. Louis Blue. Tapped in from Tanner Jeannot. And up for Spencer Knight. Around back and over the far side. Bouncing up for Rodriguez on the pass. Rodriguez sends it in cross quarter. Arriving there first is Tkachuk. Paul Maurice shuffling up the lines as Kuemper holds it. 2:57 into the third. And the Jets and Avalanche, they're going to overtime here. If we were to, I know this is outside the main game. If we were to make some picks for who scores the overtime winner from either side, I guess I'll start out with my picks. I'm picking Nino Niederreiter for the Jets, and for the Avalanche, I'm taking Mikko Rantanen. Off this face-off, it is Gustav Forsling who fires it deep, and it was wide. 3 minutes deep into the third period as the Panthers were trying to get their composure back, and Samoskevich gets bodied down. Whistle immediately. There was something here. And Eetu Luostarinen looking around, saying who is the guilty party here. I don't know who is going out, but no penalty. One goal game here at Los Angeles. The Kings are trying to write this Hollywood story. The fans are re-entering here. Much of the right side, the crowd was empty. But now this crowd out in here supporting the Kings. Near quarter, Turcotte gets shoved away by Bennett. Now back to the left point. Edmondson's deep shot is blocked all the way from the left point. Panthers moving the zone. And Spence kept this one away from the Panthers momentarily before Samoskevich Oh my goodness, he got tousled up and over by Edmonton along with the boards, taken off for a ride. Nearly 4 minutes deep as this gets sent over to the far side of the boards near the Kings bench. Turcotte and Kopitar in the middle of it. So are Luostarinen, and this gets freed up. Live money line favors the Panthers right now at minus 345. Sam Reinhart is hurrying up the Kings on this pass, and at the near quarter, they get this one off. Moving it up is Byfield as he drops it off. Spinorama is Moore right around Kentucky. Trevor Moore fires, and is stopped by Spencer Knight. And I do notice that in home games during the national anthems, the Panthers chant Knight during the line of Gabe Proof, Food, and Knight in support of Spencer Knight. Usually, chanting Knight has been associated with the Vegas Golden Knights. Of course, it is their team name, but it's a heartwarming moment whenever the Panthers chant Knight. That was when Spencer Knight took a leave of absence in the 2023 season, focusing on his mental health. He's back, and now he's back to full strength. He is playing A-tier hockey with the Panthers. 21-13, the hits in favor of Florida. At the near quarter, this is a battle for the puck between Schmidt, Moore, Barkov, and is that Quinton Byfield in the middle of it? Yes, it is. He'll drop it back over to Anderson, and Gavrikov, his one-timer is blocked, intending to be a redirect for Warren Foegele, and Foegele is now at the far quarter. All around as they tried to get it loose. Schmidt there, all sorts of bodies in that way at the far quarter. Nothing there as Sam Reinhart moves it up over to the far side. Several chicks in the way there. Up for the trapezoid, it's just behind the Kemper's crease. Kachuk there. So is Barkov, who turns it over and cops it up. Forswing taps it in to keep it in his zone. Kings take it back and have possession. They'll drop it all the way back for Anderson. Anderson to the near side and skating around for his Fiala, who will drop it back for Jacob Bovarar. Panthers deny entry, and he'll go back the other way with the puck. For the far half boards, sending it in deep. Battle for this loose puck back behind the trapezoid, moving it through. Now at the right point, Kulikov nearly fell down. He stumbled, just kept it in. Boquist holds it. Backhand pass all the way to the left point. That shot from Forsling on the one-timer is blocked, and this is dumped in. Kevin Fiala trying to move around Kulikov. Now it's back deep. Kulikov shoved away by Fiala, and the Kings keep it. Top of the right circle. Big blazing blast blocked away. Barkov there to air this one all the way out. And Fiala, or rather Akil Thomas, will send this one in. 6.5 minutes are gone here in this third period. The Panthers holding on to a 1-0 lead. Trying to preserve this shutout. Kings have 16 shots. Panthers have 23. Kings moving up for the far half boards. Sam Helenius poked away. Trevor Lewis. Here's a slap shot on the way. Loose in front. Spencer Knight down. They score! Sam Helenius! On the rebound, he gets his first goal of the season. Welcome to the big leagues, young fella. That's got to be a good feeling whenever you get your first career NHL goal. It's on a slight tap in on the backhand off the rebound with Jordan Spence. His slap shot was blocked out by Belinsky's. Janot kept it alive, and Spencer Knight could not hold the rebound. Helenius one-hands this one inside. Well, not entirely one-hands it, but you got to pick that up and give it to him at the end of this game. That's the puck in which he scored at. Welcome to the NHL, Helenius. But it's got to feel so good for him. Gotta wonder what he's going through right now. Now it's tied at 1, and the Panthers are back in blazing. Sam Iskevich. His pass around over to the far corner and back around. So now, 1 apiece between these two teams. Goaltending duel, or more like defensive duel. At the near half boards, this gets batted around. Sam Bennett wants to move it up. This gets collected by Spence. Jordan Spence backtracks. And he'll get it over to Edmondson. Joel Edmondson waits. Then moves it over to the far side for Spence. Now drives it forward. Cross rink dumping. Rather, a cross corner dumping as Sam Reinhart moves it up. Now see puck collected by Barkov, and now for Reinhart at the far corner. Shadowed by Anderson as it's backhanded away. Now drop back deep. At the far half boards as the Kings go for a ride. Looking about this comeback. Gavrikov mishandled for a moment. Had it swept away from him, and Barkov picks it up. For the far half boards, and it is dumped into recollected by Byfield. Byfield around to Anderson. Mikey Anderson sets it up through the middle. Takes a bounce. And off the far half boards, scooped up by Bolinskis. Uvis Bolinskis. A regular here on the Panther lineup right now. This is for Barkov. Barkov in front! And this gets sent wide. 11:35 in the period. Kings trying to take their first lead of the game. Turcotte sends it aside. One of the Kings goes up and over. That was Clark, who picks it up and does a tough angle shot from the far corner. And that was spotted by Knight. 19th shot of the game. 11:25 to go in the third period. On to break with a tie game. One here. And Los Angeles. Kourt, how are you?
Hi, honey. I'm good, and you?
What a nice night this is.
I know.
Alec, what's the Panthers' overall record right now?
So overall, the Panthers are 28-17-3. The Kings, in retrospect, are 25-14-5.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure.
But in addition, the Panthers, they are the defending Stanley Cup champions, and it appeared that there was a sort of a Stanley Cup hangover here recently in January, but they have been stringing together wins on a consistent basis. But they have the Toronto Maple Leafs ahead of them in the standings. Boys, the Panthers are 4th in the Eastern Conference right now. They can catch up for sure. There's a lot of time left in the season.
Thank you.
Hellenius from Genge and Spence. I know this weekend's games are about to get hectic, knowing that 1, it's an I-95 showdown between the Eagles and Commanders, and 2, it's a rivalry revisited between two quarterbacks we have known, a rivalry that's hyped up to levels to the likes of Brady versus Manning. Of course, that rivalry being one of the greatest sporting rivalries of all time, up there with Barcelona and Real Madrid with Messi and Ronaldo. It's a nice tribute that the NHL and TNT is doing to the Los Angeles Fire Department. And a big shout out to the LAFD on fighting these fierce wildfires. Of course, you can visit lakings.com/fireleaf to donate, bid on auction items, and purchase LA Strong merchandise. All proceeds will go directly to the American Red Cross. Back here in Los Angeles, final 11:20 of regulation. Tied up at 1. Panthers with a 23-19 shot advantage. Far side, this gets swept away from Mikkola. Kings with it, trying to take the lead. Hellenius scored his first career NHL goal tonight. The Kings followed up with a goal of their own. Would be nice of them to do so. Set up in front. Loose at the front of the net. Still it's free. Panthers sweep it away. It was a fiasco as Fogle was in the middle of it. Kings keep it in. Trevor Moore trying to set up around. Turnaround shot was blocked by Bolinskis. Now it's a madhouse here in the SWAT. This goes back to the point. Will we see a shot? Yes, we do. Spencer Knight's there. Rebound! And Knight got that one. Plays blown dead with a lot of lumber on the ice. 2 loose sticks and a broken stick. Boy, oh boy. We're seeing a madhouse here, everyone. That was Anderson with a blazing shot from the left point. Sustained offensive zone time is key here for Jim Hiller's team, the Los Angeles Kings. Knight had trouble controlling the rebound, which led to extended zone time for the Kings, with Byfield and Fogle poking at the puck madly. Sam Bennett 6 of 10 on faceoff. Kopitar won his 14th on his 19th faceoff. Scoring chances 5-1 in favor of the Kings in this third period. Turns out the left side of the ice has been the strong suit in terms of scoring chances here. The Kings want to finish this one with the win. Moving up are the Panthers as the puck was poked away from Bennett. Back deep is Spence. Spence backhands it on the near quarter as Philip Deneau sets up front. And moving across is Akil Thomas. West side for Kopitar. Kopitar on for Fiala. Poked away several times. Deneau in the midst of it. Of the far half boards. Held in by Kopitar. Fires! Stopped by Knight. Rebounds all the way for Jordan Spence, and Joel Edmondson is blocked by Sam Miskevich. Now Edmondson sets it up front. Block shots are 16-13 Kings. Past the halfway mark of the third. Spencer Knight plays it out. Away from danger, but the Kings quickly there to swoop it away from the Panthers. Moving around over to the far corner. Tanner Jeannot. Trevor Lewis is back deep. Helenius just scored his first career NHL goal as he sends this one in lightly as Verhaeghe picks it up. Carter Verhaeghe on for Tobias Bjornfot. With the far side of the boards, this is pickpocketed. Kings couldn't get anything out of that one. The Panthers back up the other way. 25th career game for Helenius. First career NHL goal. Yeah, good moment for him as this puck was poke checked under a stick in the lane there. The Kings looking to move it up. 9 minutes. That's what's left in the third period. Panthers move it up and shoot it wide of Kemper intentionally so as to dump this one in. Kings looking to move it up. Jeannot was tangled up and a race for this puck. Greer wins it against Deneau. And this will be the Panthers moving it up for the near half boards. Evan Rodriguez around for the near boards and onto the far corner. This will be scooped up by the Kings at the near half boards. Akil Thomas sends it out. Turcotte also there. Turcotte in the midst of it set up in a swat. And there were several bodies falling down. Jordan Spence keeps it in. At the right point, across for Spence. One-timer across. Rebound in front. Knight holds his own with a glove and a sword in hand. Still knotted up at one apiece. 8:20 to go in the third period. And we have a final score here in Denver. It is Winnipeg. Let's get the deets. The winner from Neil Pionk. That took just 17 seconds on the win. Set up by Vladislav Nemesnikov. And for his first assist of the season, the goaltender, Connor Hellebuck, who is trying to get his Vezina case still up and rolling. The Jets improved to NHL best 32-14-3 on the season. Can they keep this up? Penalty was swift and sweet. Don't mind if there's anything, but as of now, this game is the last game that's standing here in National Hockey League. So you go on over to the score lines. Over at the NBA, the Suns, they win 108-84. Pistons on the night. Well, if Patrick is listening back onto this, the Pistons, they've won 114-104. Good for his guys. As Detroit sports in the NBA and NHL on a roll between the Pistons and the Red Wings. The Timberwolves, they narrowly take down the Mavs 115-114. Same thing with the Rockets, narrowly taking out the Cavs 109-108. Grizzlies 132-120 on the Hornets. And the Thunder 123-114 on the Jazz. The Bucks and Pelicans game has been postponed because of abruptly cold weather down in New Orleans. It's freezing in New Orleans. So cold that some people in New Orleans are playing hockey on the streets. Can you believe that, guys?
Yes, we can, because Miss Kourt's from New Orleans.
Oh, hope everyone in New Orleans are safe. Is safe. And Kourt, hope that you're safe over in the cold.
She may be on the other. She has a Discord that she runs, so she may be on that, so she didn't hear you. But she's been trying to build me a snowman, because I haven't had a snowman in a few years living in Florida.
Well, it was snowing here in North Carolina, all right. Just not. We got about 2 inches overnight here in Raleigh, but not much else than that. 1-1 here as the Panthers are in control. Was it? So, Evan Rodriguez in the second was to go for the Panthers. Sam Hellenius in the third. And there could be a possibility of overtime if there's nothing else here. Battle for this puck at the far corner. Fiala picks it up on the opportunity. Panthers take it back up. Could this be something for them as Sam Iskevich, the Connecticut native, moves it over from near side to far corner. On this dump in, Lusterinen couldn't pick it up. The Kings back the other way. Inside they go. From the right point. Inside for Kopitar at the right circle. Kopitar will drop it back all the way to the point. And holding his Edmonton for deep shot deflected. That took a wacky bounce. But it bounced onto the glove of Spencer Knight. Talk about a little pinball. No pressure as Joe Edmondson did the shot past Adrian Kempe, actually, as this was deflected inside from Edmondson. I've been impressed by Spencer Knight tonight. Total puck control here. Anton Lundell, 3-7 on faceoffs. Kopitar is 14-19 and such. This time it's won by Lundell. 11-1, the third period shots in favor of the Kings. They've been controlling this third frame. Around for the left circle. There's Brent Clark as he sends it over to the right point. And shot score! Off the shot from Kevin Fiala, the Kings take their first lead in the game. Adrian Kempe, Johnny on the spot on the redirect.
The Kings. The Panthers have to win.
Well, heavy is the crown indeed. No pun intended, and no intent of referencing the Linkin Park song. But Brent Clark, he had a great eye onto this puck, finding the open Kevin Fiala, who was way open at that right point, and Kempe, who was right there in front for the deflection. He cleaned it up and was right there to tip this and get this one in on the backhand. 2-1, the Kings lead. And the Panthers, who are usually so good when leading entering the third period, 18-1-0, and their last 19 this season when leading entering the third period. They could be seeing their second regulation loss and such if they don't tie this one up. They have 6:25 to go here. We're in the far corner. Kings scoop it out, and they're rushing here 2-on-2 from the red line. Kempe is on a 4-game goal-scoring streak. And here he scored his 24th goal of the season. Most consistent Kings player right now. 43 points. Tied for the team lead with Anze Kopitar. Third place is Alex Laferriere, who is out tonight with an injury. Less than 6 minutes ago as this bounce for Barkov. Now up front, Fogle. Over in front to the far half boards. This bounces up and around as Florida moves it up. Tic-tac-toe they go as this is sent for Mikkola. Sent it around and Kemper slows down the action. He'll send it for Fiala, who set up that one-timer to get Kempe to score. Bouncing puck for Gavrikov. The Panthers have had a lot of trouble here in this third period. Gavrikov caught in the midst of a change, and the Panthers take it away. Backhanded and deep. Less than 5:30 to go. Now 5:18. Kempe from Fiala and Clark as Clark set up Fiala on the one-timer. Wild pass from Kopitar. Here comes Kempe towards the net. He got hooked and went crashing towards the net. Well, the officials are going to have to convene together to determine the ruling on this play. Kempe's taking off his helmet. It looked like from the vantage point, he gets slowed down and comes crashing towards the net. It looked like it tripped, not a hook. So, excuse me for that. But Kempe came crashing towards the net, colliding with Spencer Knight. You cannot take penalties in this stage of the game. And Kempe is on support. The officials are huddling up to determine the fate of this play. Frederick Lecuyer, Brandon Schrader, 17 and 34. And now Matthew Tkachuk joining in on to get the explanation. That looked like a slip and slide as Gustav Forsling may have got a stick on Kempe. I'll tell you, that play did not look clean at all. Both Tkachuk and Kopitar are with Lecuyer and Schrader. They're motioning for the lines. They're motioning for the linesman Travis Garland to discuss this. And as they're sorting things out, we'll step away with the Kings leading 2-1. So they'll have to decide on Gustav Forsling's fate in this meantime. There's so much more to a lot of action. And right now, there are tight games in both Los Angeles and Sacramento. The Clippers are in it against the Celtics, but they trail by 1, 90-89. The other Kings from Sacramento, they're up 119, 113 on the Golden State Warriors after the Warriors, they led by 18 earlier in this game. The win probability for the Warriors was at 91.2 or 92.6% when they led 65-48. 92.2% when they led 72-56. And now the Kings are trying to complete this comeback. I think it's possible. There's some injuries here. Jacob Markstrom, as I mentioned, expected to miss time after leaving the game against the Bruins where he collided with Justin Brazeau. Received attention out to the ice, able to scale off his own, but he did not return. Head coach Sheldon Keefe said he will miss some time. The team expects to have a clear prognosis for him soon. Did make 6 saves. Wishing him the best in his recovery. So, they have reviewed this in the review earlier. No goal on the play, as there was a collision as Gustav Forsling right in the middle as he tripped up Adrian Kempe. And at the end of this ruling, they have determined that this is no penalty. We'll stay 5-on-5. The Panthers lucky that they have come away with no penalty. And right in front, Kemper with a save on Alexander Barkov. Turned away point blank at the slot with 4:55 to go. The Panthers got off easy last time around, and they want to take advantage of the fact that they have not get calling for a penalty. But Barkov, wow, he does a nice little move on a windmill on Vladislav Gavrikov to get that shot away. Off the face-off, it's Tkachuk right in front. Shot goes wide. Panthers trying to even it up at 2 apiece. Maybe force overtime. From the far half boards, Panthers hold it in. Back deep is Reinhart. This puck skips past him. And back deep is Tkachuk. He's at the near far half boards. Gustav Forsling had it go wide. It was blocked wide. And it's cleared down ice by the Kings. Kulikov. Pinned back deep as the Kings take it away. Point blank save by Spencer Knight. Off the takeaway back deep. Needed that one for Florida. And now Sam Bennett at the far corner. Matched up well by several players. Taken away by the Kings. Here's a 2-on-1. Rush opportunity at the far side. Turcotte fires. Stopped by Knight. Two great opportunities that were turned aside by Knight. He's been on his A game. Nate Schmidt at the near corner. Florida looking for a goal to even this up. Sam Bennett. Bennett going to the opposite side. You have just one third period chance all throughout this period. Kings had 10 for comparison. Schmidt towards that right circle. The Panthers are going to go left to right. Gustav Forsling sets up at the left side. Kings give them no space. Florida looking to take it back, and they do. This gets tapped on along several times. Advancing forward is Tanner Jeannot. Tied up at the far corner. Gustav Forsling bouncing up around several times. Adrian Kempe moving around as this gets cleared back out. Jacob Moverar tied up by Boquist as this is towards the penalty box towards the puck. Kings take it back up as Fogle looked to split the gap. There was nothing, and Kopitar sends this deep. Kulikov recollects. Forsling is tied up by Kempe. Forsling in a straitjacket moves it over to Kulikov, and the Panthers will move it left to right, coast to coast. Barkov leads it for Tkachuk, who sends this one in. Kings take it back. Fiala. The shot was blocked, and now the Kings on a breakaway. Here's Kopitar, slowed up, and that shot forced wide. Good defensive recovery by the Panthers. 2-on-2 back the other way. As the Panthers are back deep. Knight is headed towards the bench. Behind the net, here is Verhaeghe at the right circle. Send a pass in front. It's a wide open net, but nothing to fire at. Barkov goes back deep for Verhaeghe. Now back for Barkov. Barkov right in front. Tap pass for Tkachuk. He scored! No! That was wide. That puck is still alive here. The puck was wide. I thought it was in the net for a moment. Tkachuk thought so too. He was in disbelief. Battle at the near corner. 6-on-5 here. As the Kings are looking to clear. Panthers looking to even it up. I thought this was in the net. Panthers just keep it in at the blue line. Reinhardt, near quarters. This gets passed off the post. Playing this one goes. This puck goes over to Reinhardt. Around for Bennett. This takes a bounce over to the far corner for Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe. Tkachuk, near corner. Again for Reinhardt. Reinhardt close off, finds the open Tkachuk. Tkachuk shakes off his man. Reinhardt pickpocketed on his angle. And the Kings get it out. They can get some fresh bodies onto the ice. Puck is played at center ice by Sam Bennett. This goes all the way back. Nate Schmidt. Go Kings, go chance here at Staples Center. Now known as Crypto.com Arena. Here you have Boris. Pass gets deflected up around several times and cleared out. Headed towards the empty net. Wide. And the Panthers will have exactly 1 minute to work with. I think they'll use their timeout to regroup. Boy, were they so close. They're tying this one up at 2. Oh, our hearts can't take this anymore. Going dancing here up and about. Timeout called. Kings winning 122-115 over the Warriors. The NBA Kings, the NHL Kings are leading 2-1. And I thought this was a goal. This was a tic-tac-toe. Tkachuk had a wide open net right for him. And he missed. And his reaction, totally understandable. He knew he had that one. That was a wide open net. And he just missed. Ouch. Missing a wide open net, that's got to be one of the worst feelings ever as a hockey player. So, tomorrow in the ESPN Plus game is Utah and Minnesota. Friday in the ESPN game, Vegas and Dallas. We'll likely be covering a Canadian bout, Edmonton and Vancouver. Big storyline here being, how will they adjust to not having McDavid and Myers between Edmonton and Vancouver? It will be played at Rogers Place, the home of the Oilers. Last time it was played at Rogers Arena, home of the Canucks. Kachuk, Bennett, Reinhart, Barkov, Verhaeghe, and Schmidt on the ice. Puck is dropped, won by Barkov as it is held inside, just inside the blue line. Bennett twisted Toros. Shot was blocked in front. Kings looking to clear. Far half boards. Kings fire it around for the far side, and this will be another icing. 44 seconds to go, as this was Philip Deneau trying to conserve more energy. A huge shot block at the front by the Kings, and that was Philip Deneau. Not Deneau, that was Mikey Anderson at the front as he went down on his knees to block it. This time it's Deneau winning the faceoff. Sliding over to the right point, held in by Reinhart. This shot around. Kachuk, left corner. Now dropped over to Schmidt. Back deep, this is Kachuk. Over to Barkov, Verhaeghe, taking control. Deferring to Schmidt on a long shot. His stick broke on the shot, and the Kings can ice it. They sent it wide. No icing though, as it was across the red line. Panthers get it back. Kachuk over to Reinhart, who is a trailer. Around from Vogel. Shot right around is wide. Kachuk to the net. Stopped by Kemper. Rebound is still free. The third. This is wide. Kemper doesn't have a stick. Time winding down. And this game is over. The Kings hold on. And they write their own Hollywood movie here tonight. This one for the LAFD. 2-1, the final.
Well, thank you, Alex, for announcing that game. I enjoyed listening to you.
What an ending. That was theatrics as a whole. The Kings have an emotional victory for their fans and for their residents. Huge comeback for the Kings. Not in terms of what matters on the score, but what is there in spirit.
Right. Yes. All them fires are still so crazy out there.
Yeah. There's that mad scramble at the end of the sequence. That's right after the missed empty net shot. And the Panthers, they were all manic at the net. Verhaeghe, Reinhart, and then afterwards, Matthew Kachuk wanted some words with Adrian Kempe. The Kings win. 4th third period comeback this season for them. That's huge for them. Still up for the Pacific Division, but they're keeping pace with the likes of the Edmonton Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And thanks for joining along here, Jen, HungryMako. Happy to be here with you both.
Yeah, it was very fun hanging out with you. We're going to head back over to our show and turn it back on now.
All right.
Good work. You are really.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Good night, Alex.
Good night, everyone.
Stop by us.
And take care.